The use of vacuum or suction excavation machines is becoming commonplace across many construction sites in the UK and can be used in a number of ways. There are huge efficiency benefits as well. Manual excavation in normal soil conditions and in the presence of buried pipes and cables traditionally equates to around 1 cubic metre excavated every 6 hours. You can see that much more can be excavated in the same time with a suction excavator. Suction excavation is one of the safest methods of removing earth from around existing pipes and cables without damaging underground utilities and causing any unnecessary health and safety or environmental incidents. Instead of physical work with shovel and air hand tools, both of which can damage underground cables, or the risky use of an excavator, the soil particles, liquids and sludges are simply suctioned away with the suction excavator. Additional benefits include a faster and more efficient working process, less disruption, and an environmentally cleaner result. But the correct use of these machines is crucial. Let's step through the correct processes that its safe operation requires. All necessary planning procedures must have been completed prior to receiving the suction excavator machine on site. These will have included RAMs and geotechnical surveys, especially for poor or difficult ground and, where necessary, unexploded ordnance surveys. The method statement and risk assessments must be task-specific for each site location. A ground disturbance work permit must also have been issued by the site manager. Suction excavators should not be operated in or taken into a confined space unless a rigorous assessment and use of suitable control measures shows that the risk is low. All personnel of the suction excavation team must be suitably and sufficiently trained and competent to undertake the task. All personnel should be fully trained to inspect the equipment required to perform each task. Excavator operators should always be able to show proof of training to the client and site management. Site-specific inductions will be necessary for all those involved in the operation and management of the suction excavator whilst on site. The area of excavation itself must have barriers and exclusion zones positioned in place. In certain cases, acoustic barriers will also have been installed. In case of any hydraulic leaks, a spill kit must be present on site or carried on board the suction excavator. The actual area for excavation will be marked up and surveyed by a Cat and Jenny. A site supervisor must also be present, and they will check all necessary approvals and documentation in advance of the operation commencing. The suction excavation machine must always be a two-man job. No lone working is permitted. One operative will also be designated as banksman, who will guide and position the vehicle as necessary. The two operators then carry out their setup process and commence the vacuum excavation, maintaining clear communication throughout. There are critical safety hazards and controls you must be aware of, and the following provides an example of the typical hazards and controls associated with the use of the suction excavator. But ensure you refer to the site-specific risk assessment and method statement for further information. Addressing these critical safety and procedural considerations when using a suction excavation machine will ensure safe and efficient operation.